Hey, good morning everyone. I wanted to do something a little different in this video, and I wanted to kind of shed a little bit of light behind how some of the products get to the store. And what I specifically wanted to focus on was the incentive program comics, tiered incentive comics that Marvel does. Marvel's the only company that does this, and I'm sure you're all aware of like variant covers. DC every month has, two covers for every comic. And those comics can be ordered in any number you want. If I wanted to order 10 copies of Batman regular and 10 copies of Batman monster cover or Looney Tunes cover, you can do that without any inhibitors. You want to order 400 Looney Tunes and 500 regular, you can go ahead and do that. Then there's other comics in the variant world, that are simply one for 50s, one for 100s, one for 25s. And it's as simple as it sounds. Those are for every, let's say it's a 1 for 100 book. You have to order 100 copies of Spider-Gwen 1, then you're entitled to order one of the 100 copies. The area that is problematic are these tiered incentive covers. So here you see Original Sin 8, and you see a Star Wars 10. And you're asking yourself, like, what's he doing? Why is he showing these books? What does this book have to do with this book? And a tiered incentive that Marvel does is it basically punishes a retailer for supporting Marvel Comics. And what I mean by that is when Star Wars came out, issue 5 came with this criterion. You had to beat your orders of Original Sin 8. So here's Original Sin 8 on the numbers of Star Wars 5 you ordered to then be entitled to order this cover. So what I'm trying to say is this. Whatever you ordered on Original Sin, let's say you ordered 100 copies of this. Okay? Thinking nothing of it, you order 100 copies based on your sales figures, great, it moves on, runs its course. Later down the road, Star Wars comes out and says, hey, order number 5. When you order this number 5, you have to beat your orders of this book, Original Sin, by 150%. So if we ordered 100 of this, I'd have to order 151 of this, because I have to beat my order by 150%. To then be entitled to order as many variant action figures, blanks, etc. as you want. So let's say your sales figures, you only sell 80 copies of Star Wars. Now you're basically having to double the amount you're ordering to be able to supply the consumer with these variants. So if you go to some stores, that's why you may see these things marked up at a higher price. The store may not have it at all, or whatever. Now the problem with this percentage tiering is by me supporting Marvel early on and ordering 100 copies of this and now having to order 150 of this, a different store could have ordered 3 copies of this and have to order 5 to qualify for the same variant that I have to order 150 on, because it's based on percentage, not based on numbers. So, and then Marvel starts tiering it up. This number 5 later says on number 8, beat my orders on number 5 by 100 and something percent to then qualify to order the variants for number 8. And now for Star Wars number 11, you have to beat that by your number 8 by 100 and something percent to qualify for the variants. So it's setting this ripple effect of, from what you ordered here on Original Sin to what you order on Star Wars 5 to what you order on Star Wars 8 to what you order on Star Wars 11. Currently, my sales figures, I sell 100 plus copies of Star Wars, but for me to qualify for these variants now, I have to order 203 copies of Star Wars. That's an awful heavy hit to have an extra 100 copies of this sitting around to get this. Let's go one step further. Here we go. This is Guardians of the Galaxy 26. Nothing spectacular about this book at all. But this book was used for the tier threshold for this book, the newest issue, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Okay. Currently, Marvel's doing, these hip-hop covers, and of course, these Scotty Youngs, right? Now, let's rewind a little bit and see what this book here, Guardians of the Galaxy 26, affects this book here. When ordering Guardians of the Galaxy 1, you can order as many of this as you want. No problem. I can order 1 to 1,000,000. But to qualify for, sorry I don't have the hip-hop of this, but to qualify for the hip-hop and the Skottie Young, I have to beat my numbers of this book by 175%. So let's see what that means exactly. This book here came in right on the heels of the Black Vortex storyline. And I did not readjust my orders as the Black Vortex storyline was tapering off and this was going back to regular Guardians. I ordered of this book right here 125 copies, of which I sold only 59 copies. So not even half of what was ordered sold. Now I have to beat this book by 175% of my orders of this book. What that means is I have to order 219 copies of this book right here to then be allowed to give Marvel money to buy this book and to buy the hip-hop. Now another problem with this is because I mistakenly over-ordered on this book, they're asking me to beat sales figures of a book that I only sold 60 copies of, remember, and now they want me to get 219 of a book that normally only sells 60. Well, that's a problem. Now, the biggest problem also is this. So when stores do go ahead and get this, and they order all these large quantities to obtain these books here, the consumer generally will buy the variants. So then the store is stuck holding the bag on the exact book they had to order to obtain the variant. It's a pretty vicious cycle that Marvel's doing that I think is very negative to the retailer who supports them. Because again, let's break this down. If I was a store who ordered 10 copies of this book, and I have to beat it by 175%, I'd have to order 18 copies to qualify for this. So if I'm a store that's not giving Marvel money, they get these books with ease. But if you're a store that monthly is giving Marvel this amount, they expect you to give them yet more money to then qualify for the same book that another store can get. The qualifications on these Skottie Youngs and Hip Hops read the most or the lowest amount you have to order is 3 of these books, which means if you're a store that went into business yesterday and never had a back figure of Guardians and you ordered this book and you didn't order this book, you'd have to just simply buy 3 of this to then qualify to order as many of this and the Hip Hops as you want. But for longevity stores who are in business, you have to order, beating your numbers of whatever. So I'm sorry it's a little convoluted, and I'd be happy to try to explain it clearer. Tim and I in TiVo's Lords of the Long Box video are going to touch on this a little more. It's just something I wanted to put out there to the general public so they can understand what the behind the scenes are of obtaining a variant comic. Anyway, I hope that's informative. And I will actually do another video fairly soon of just show and share stuff I have sitting aside. Alright guys, take great care. Good luck out there in the collecting world, and I will talk to you soon. Later.